everyone, Jamie here. Welcome to a brand new video. This week's video is dropping a little early. Why? Because Stop the Blur. Stop the Blur has dropped. And so I thought it'd be a great time to step in here and I'm going to show you July's pages. But first, I want to talk about Stop the Blur and what I've realized I'm loving so much about Stop the Blur. First thing, it's keeping me accountable. Yes, I have challenged myself that when the Stop the Blur class drops in the middle of the month, because it hits the 15th every month, that my previous month is all done. So that means right now July is done. I have July done, I have June done, I have May done, April, March, February, January, it's all done. I'm so proud of myself. We need to celebrate our moments, right? Yes, we do. Number two reason I wanted to drop in here and tell you that, in case you don't know what Stop the Blur is, it's a subscription class offered by Heidi Swapp, and you can find it in her shop, HeidiSwappShop.com. That's a mouthful, I know. I'll just link it below. And it is an incredible class that provides several lessons about her process or techniques that she offers, and it's $10. Yes, I know, I sound like an infomercial. Bear with me. It's for a good cause. It's stopping the blur. Daily, monthly, weekly. Oh my word, do we need help with this? Yes. So the third thing I'm going to talk about in my Stop the Blur is, and I'm going to show you all the pages from July. What I add to my memory planner is foundational to so much of the memory keeping that I do. So if I do anything well, it is my memory planner. I have lots of stories I want to tell. So the memory planner idea, Stop the Blur idea, just captures it all in one place. And so it's just this great place to keep so many stories. I can go on and on about this, I really could. But let me just show you my July pages instead. Any questions, anything else you want to know, please drop them in the comments below. Okay, let's go. All right, so we're going to take a look inside my Seeing Dots memory planner. This particular book holds 3 months of memory planner weeks. And so I have June, July, and August will be in here. So far we have June and July. We're going to pop over into July. And I want to just briefly touch on some of the techniques that each of my days have. June and July were split on a week. So I finished June up here. July actually started down here on this page. And I didn't make a big deal about the transition of months. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm at Jamie Pate on Instagram. I do a weekly, I've started doing a weekly currently. And that's, currently I'm reading, currently I'm working, currently I'm eating, currently I'm wanting. I've really enjoyed this as a way to touch base with some maybe things I wouldn't necessarily document, but they're fun, they're interesting. I think 10 years from now, when I go back and look at my currently list, I think it's going to be informational for me. So I'll just show you, I didn't do it here because this was a staycation. We'll get here in a second, but I have it there and I have it on this week as well as this week here. And you can see each time I've just been playing with a couple different techniques, different stamps, different way of going about it. It's just a fun creative outlet for me. So August starts here. I use Stamp Society stamps amongst some about 1.5 by 1.5 inch pictures of our day hiking. And then I already talked to you about the currently. This was part of the Stamp the Blur kit. And these are lowercase alpha, handwritten Heidi Swapp alphas. They are available in the shop currently. This tall letter is this tall alpha rather, was part of the June Stop the Blur kit. And that is just a kit that you're going to have to sign up on the wait list to be able to get that kit, but I encourage you to do so. I think it's well worth it. I have some hidden journaling, some of the printable here found in probably June's Stop the Blur class. There's a free printable that I mentioned already. That is great for adding embellishments to your pages. I'm laughing at myself because sometimes when I want to make sure journaling fits in a space, I'll go in with a pencil. I don't do it all the time, but I do it often enough. Then I have to go in and erase my marks. No big deal. Like I said, I don't do it all the time, but I realized right then, I hadn't erased that. This was a technique from a recent Stop the Blur class that Heidi shared with us. And these pictures, here's one of my things. Because I like to keep my colors congruent, sometimes my pictures that I do want to include aren't very consistent with the palette that I have on my page. So I think covering things up with vellum, doing something decorative on top is a fun way to still incorporate photos. But if you're a little color centric like I am, bless your heart, but that's just my approach. Okay, this is a technique from an older class that Heidi taught on Stop the Blur. And I'm not going to go into much detail because that is something that's privy to her class. But I do just want you to take notes, some things that I did. This was a kind of a staycation, and I wanted to focus on the fact that that's exactly what this week was for us. So what's the first thing you see? Well, I used these Stop the Blur alpha stickers almost on every day to give a subtitle to what was going on that day. I really loved how that worked out. I like how it pops off the page. I like that I don't even have to read a lot of what's going on here. I can just see that. And then I stayed consistent with either journaling or bullet point journaling, which I love. Big fan of bullet point journaling. I think a lot can be said in just a phrase, a few words, a single word. So that was consistent every day. The day stamp you see on here is an old stamp. I think it goes back to the March Stop the Blur kit. So I played around with some smaller photos, basically again, because I just wanted to get a few more photos on this. I don't usually do that, but I had a lot of fun just coming in and adding some of a different sort of approach to this week. And I might probably go back and do that again, but I wanted to show that to you. You'll notice as well, I am using here, this is the monthly stamp from Heidi's Swapp shop, and I have found myself using these monthly stamps quite a bit. I've been staying consistent with how I've been dating my weeks and using like the smaller handwritten month, and I did that throughout the entire month. I like that. That's just what works for me right now. It's probably going to change. I can guarantee you it's going to change. All right, let's look at week 12 through 18. Here's a vellum circle that's also available at HeidiSwappShop.com. I will be linking these products down below if you have any interest in them. This But First Coffee, this is a couple coffee stamps that I have collected, and I will list those as well. Very often I'm finding that I am bullet pointing my day a lot more with actually what is taking place, but sometimes I just fall into verses and I will just write verses out or something that I'm reading at the time. Here is a technique that is part of one of Heidi's classes, and I had something that someone had posted actually on Facebook, and it was a very beautiful prayer, and I wanted to be mindful of it and have it. So I made an envelope pocket for it here. I want to take just a second and talk about photos again on this page. Most all these photos I cropped to 2 inches wide. All of these, even this one here. This is also 2-inch wide. I really like that size. I don't tend to add a whole lot of photos to my planner pages because I do scrapbook and do weekly pages so much. That's just not what this book is for me, and for other people it would be. No way is any better than any way. This is just how I go about it. And so, except you saw back here, well, I did go a little bit heavier on photos, and there was a reason for that. So you just got to figure out what you want to have on these pages and why you're doing something. And if one week is full of photos, awesome. The next week you're like, I took a picture of my coffee. Oh, that's even more awesome. Get that coffee on there for sure, right? I used one of the window embellishments from a Stop the Blur kit. I have a little vellum cover over this, not too different from this one over here. This one's just stamped, and this is one of the printables, more information underneath. This just has a lot of stuff going on. So I interplayed with putting journaling visible, and then also a lot of journaling that wasn't visible as well, and with that prayer there too. So that's a look at July 12 through 18. July 19 through 25. Now, something I want to point out here, and if you haven't noticed already, is I have the Stamp Society Alpha stamp for August is now kind of doing what my Alpha stickers did back a couple weeks ago. And I took a word for almost every day, but not every day. And I used these great large format. Let me see. These letters are probably about, not probably, we're going to find out what they are about. They are not quite an inch in height. So nice size for making a big impact on a planner page. And I had a lot of fun with that. Bounced off of those words, and that's kind of how the day centered. And something else I wanted to show you, because this is from this month's Stop the Blur class. Carpe the freaking diem. That is like my most favorite saying now. I love that for so many reasons. Do I love that? Let me show you over here. Just take a minute to ponder. I fortunately still found this greenish tag. It's part of storyline chapters. But I had written on the page and I hated it. I did not like the direction that what I was working on, where it was going. So I covered it up. I found this tag. It could have been a piece of paper. It could have been a interactive piece. It could have been so many things, but I was happy to have come across the green tag to cover up my mistake. Don't be afraid to cover up your mistakes, because you're going to make mistakes. All right, this was a happy page. This is our last page today, and I'm noticing I still need to go back and erase some of my pencil marks. July 26th, and it goes to August 1st. I just didn't. I might just go through here and put 31 on here for July. Obviously, I left that blank. There's a lot of things on this page that are from the Stop the Blur kit. There's a lot of things on this page that are from the Stop the Blur class printables, and I wanted to point those out. I had fun with this photo here of my family going to the zoo, and I still need to write some notes on here. I haven't done that, but this was a fun little interactive piece here, this pocket. Love these hello, goodbye stickers. Now, while that is part of the kit, these stickers here are available in the shop just like they are. So you might want to check those out. A lot of fun. It was a great prompt too. Hello, what am I saying hello to? What am I saying goodbye to? It was a fun way to, I have no problem filling my days in right now. Trust me. It's been a very busy summer, but I do hear from my friends, I don't know what to put in my planner. I don't have anything to fill it up. I just work. I want to challenge you that there's more to it than just that. And I bet there's things in your day you said hello to. There's things in your day you said goodbye to, or you learned about, like, never doing that again. Or, boy, this was super awesome. I want to write about this and make sure I keep doing this, whatever it might be. Lots of journaling, journal heavy this week for sure. And then some hidden little pictures in here. Again, weren't quite going with the colors that I had going on, but I wanted these pictures here. I wanted the interactive aspect of pulling those out and having them available here. I don't know how well you can tell this Hello August. I went ahead and stamped this on the vellum paper that is available in the HeidiSwappShop.com. And number one, I love to stamp on the vellum stickers. I think it makes these oxide stamps just beautiful. And I'm looking right now really quick. This is going to be Victorian Velvet. I thought Victorian Velvet went really well with the pink band, and that's what you see here stamped on the vellum. And it's beautiful. It matches and connects and just brings this whole page together really well. Here's another one from this month. Not today, and that's for sure. Boy, every day, huh? All right, so that is a look at my Stop the Blur for July. Let's just go back one more quick time, talk about currently on the page, loving that so very much, using alpha stickers to highlight a day and maybe what the theme of that day was. Love that. Using your color, the color band, to prompt how the rest of the page is going to lay out. Love doing that. Using beautiful large alpha stamps to give focus and highlight to what happened on your day. You could absolutely use this in so many different ways. I think this is just a great stamp set. I think this is going to be a joy to have in your stash. And then last but not least, be not afraid to be journal heavy, to use prompts from your stamps or your stickers to document the story. Doesn't have to be a perfect story, doesn't have to be the best story. It just has to be your story. And that is one of the best things about Stop the Blur and a memory planner. Your stories in a beautiful place, written in every week, every month, however you go about it. Highlight to what happened on your day. You could absolutely use this in so many different ways. I think this is just a great stamp set. I think this is going to be a joy to have in your stash. And then last but not least, be not afraid to be journal heavy, to use prompts from your stamps or your stickers to document the story. Doesn't have to be a perfect story, doesn't have to be the best story. It just has to be your story. And that is one of the best things about Stop the Blur and a memory planner. Your stories in a beautiful place, written in every week, every month, however you go about it. Just make sure you're telling your story, guys. And thank you so much for being here. Please drop me any questions down below. I'll link our supplies and I will see you in the next video.